Alice was sitting in the garden under a big old tree. Bored and yawning, she glanced at her sister, who was reading a book and didn't seem to notice anything unusual. That's when a peculiar scene caught Alice's eye. A white rabbit wearing a waistcoat scurried by, checking his pocket watch and muttering, "I'm late. I'm very late." Without a second thought, Alice sprang up and pursued the rabbit, feeling a newfound sense of excitement. Her chase led her to a large rabbit hole, and before she could even comprehend what was happening, she tumbled down. It wasn't a simple fall, though. It was more like floating in a magical tunnel filled with flying books and peculiar objects that seemed to defy the laws of gravity. She landed softly on her feet in a strange room filled with countless doors of different sizes. As she explored the room, Alice discovered a tiny key and a bottle that said, "Drink me." Intrigued, she took a sip, and just like magic, she shrank down to a size that allowed her to fit through the petite door. The door led her into a lush and beautiful garden, and there he was again, the hurried white rabbit, darting past her without even a hello. Venturing further, Alice stumbled upon the most unusual tea party hosted by the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. Despite the silliness, Alice found herself having a rather amusing time. Continuing her journey, Alice met a wise blue caterpillar perched on a colossal mushroom. He puffed on his hookah, offering riddles and advice that Alice didn't quite grasp at first. His words about discovering who she truly was made a lasting impression. The adventure led her to the imposing palace of the Queen of Hearts. The Queen had a penchant for yelling, "Off with his head," which was both alarming and bewildering. Nevertheless, Alice stood her ground, courageously facing the Queen and her army of card soldiers. Things got even stranger when Alice joined a croquet game, where flamingos were used as mallets and hedgehogs as balls. The rules seemed non-existent, with the Queen bending them left and right. Alice's escapades finally brought her to a peculiar courtroom where she was summoned under ambiguous accusations. The trial was nothing short of comical, with logic tossed out the window, but clever Alice adeptly defended herself. In an instant, just when things reached the peak of absurdity, Alice woke up under the familiar old tree. She realized with relief and a little disappointment that it had all been a dream. Grinning, she stretched, savoring the memory of her whimsical adventures. She got up and walked away from the garden, the playful tune of her dreams following her steps, but growing softer every second.